Welcome to Radical Underdogs, and if you haven't watched this channel before, I'm going racing in the budget MX-5. This is the last race of the season, and what a treat it is. The lights are out, and we are going now. We are position 11. It was one of the best qualifying out of the year. It's very damp on circuit, which is why we started with lower revs, and we've already made a couple of positions, but they've got Matt Crozier on the outside, who's making his way through down into the iconic Paddock Hill bend for the first time. And you can see, actually, we're on the live stream this time, so we're going to cut to the live stream every now and again. For the first time this year, we're up at the front of the field, and you can see that we're still really wet down the bottom of the hill. We've got cars sliding around, and we got caught up on the inside there. You see the blue and orange car, that's us, going through Druids for the first time. We're back down to position 11. We had a great start, but then just got caught up on the inside. We've got a car down the inside of us. We've left him room on the inside. That is actually championship contender Paul Bateman, and number 43 behind us. He is looking to make progress on the outside. You've got Pete Smith shoved off the circuit. I think just cars coming together. He's going all the way across the grass. They're really long way around. We'll see him rejoin in a second. We're around, meanwhile, the outside of Matt Crozier. We're up to position, and that's Pete Smith rejoining. We're about to see him as we go through down the start-finish straight. He's going to try and slot back in so he doesn't get a penalty here, because obviously he cut quite a few corners off the circuit, almost fuel saving the amount of time he cut off there. But we're down on the outside. Pete Smith is on the inside down as we go to Paddock Hill Bend. We're side by side. We're going to cut back. He's taken a bit too much speed, if anything, through Paddock Hill Bend, and we've been able to take the inside line and quite nicely take him on the run up to Druids for the second time. Ahead of us, as you can see the live stream, because he's sliding on the exit of Druids there. Ahead of you got Johnny Greensmith and Del Pace. Johnny making his way past Del. Del out of shape. We're going to give him a little bit of a shove. We can see we've created a little bit of a gap between us and Pete Smith behind us. So actually we're on the leading group. You can see the front of the field here, and if you've watched my channel for a long time, you'll definitely know that this is the best race I think I've ever done. So really excited to be at the front. Let's not throw it off the circuit in these mixed conditions. Now we're building that gap. You can see there's really a gap behind us, and so what I'm going to say here to Del is we're going to work together. I'm not going to attack him down into Paddock Hill Bend. We just need to get some space behind us. If we start fighting in MX5 racing, you lose that momentum, and with these sort of relatively low powered cars, it is all about momentum as you go through the various corners of this iconic circuit. Down into Paddock Hill, into Druids, just gone through Paddock Hill, down into Druids again for the third time in this race. You can see Del struggling to get the power down this time. It looks like I'm actually, if anything, slightly faster than Del here. You can see Jake Pace has gone off the road there, and that's another position, up to position 7. You can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're on position 7, which is going to be the best finish ever if I can keep in anything in 8th, or I think 9th might have been my best ever position finish. So we are already in my best ever position, so we just need to keep it together. You've got cars falling off this circuit left, right and centre through this race because it is super slippery, and for whatever I've done, I've found a setup that really works in the wet and the damp conditions. Last time out at Donington Park, we actually didn't get to race. It was so wet there that we actually had the whole weekend rained off after qualifying, but in that qualifying session again I was pretty close to the top 10 in the I think it was a 10th position qualifying at Donington in a 40 car grid. So I've definitely found something in this car and this driving style, whatever it is I've done. I've suddenly made it work in these mixed conditions. It was wet, super wet in qualifying, and I might have released a video on it by the time we get to this video, or I might get there at some point in the future. Yeah, so I've just seemed to have found something that seems to have worked in these conditions. You can see Paul Bateman in car 42. He is catching us. He's managed to get past Pete Smith behind us. He needs to finish much higher. Well, he needs to finish higher up in order to win the championship. So I'm very much not in a championship fight for this race anyway. Maybe next year. But look, if I can continue with this form, maybe I'm jinxing it, but maybe even a podium finish might be possible. But got, as I say, Paul Bateman behind us and he is fighting for the championship, and he is going to want to find his way past. He's a long way back, but he's going to give it a go anyway down into Druids. It's a long way back. You see the car's locked. He's hit the rear of the car. I'm really struggling to control it. I mean, I guess he wouldn't normally do that in a race, but he is, I guess, as I said before, he's fighting for the championship. It was a long way to come and try and pass into Druids, and he did lock up. Kay tried to give room on the inside because, you know, I'm not going to just turn in on someone and you know, especially given my position, I don't want to knock myself out of this race. So I tried to give him room on the inside, just tapped the rear bumper. You know, didn't even make it close to being alongside in that corner. Never mind, we all kept it together. We all stayed on the circuit, so no harm done. We did lose a bit of time, but you can see I've definitely got a lot stronger in the last couple of races because I'm actually catching this group. Before, if I'd lost touch with the leading group, that was it. I was definitely done for and going backwards. But you can actually see I'm actually catching back up to Dell pace here. Dell's been quicker all year, but I'm actually catching up as we go. You know, only one lap further on, I'm right back on the tail of Dell here. And putting in some pretty fast laps. You can see Paul Bateman again recovering from that as well, so he's going to want to get back alongside. You can see the live stream catching us up, and there's been a crash down at Paddock Hill. I think Simon Waterfalls there has caught up. Number 63 was Thomas Greenwood. I think what's happened there is that Tom's gone off the circuit, and unfortunately there's sort of a left right kind of moment there. And it's just not been possible for Simon Waterfall to avoid him. We don't know that yet, of course, as we go over the start-finish straight. It's a very short lap, so we will pick up that accident pretty soon as we go over the start-finish line. But quite a nasty accident. Quite nasty accidents happen sometimes at Brands Hatch, just because people sort of bounce off the circuit or bounce off the sidewall or spin or whatever it is. And I think this is a spin that Simon collected. He got waved yellow. He's got a yellow flag here. And then we got double waved yellows coming up, and then we can see everyone's kind of braking, seeing there's a bumper in the middle of the circuit here. And there is now, the safety car boards have been deployed, so it is now a safety car, and it is going to move on to be a red flag as well. There's a lot of debris down there. The medical car is out. It's never good to see the medical car on circuit. You know that there's been a bit of an accident if the medical car and the ambulance are deployed. Fortunately, Simon's is okay after this, and actually, amazingly, the team managed to get his car out for the next race. Can you believe that? That is one of the things that's useful to have a team. Obviously, I don't have a team. Oh, look, who's that guy in the Mazda there? And I should say, please do like and subscribe. If I don't say it, people don't do it. And the only way this channel is going to survive long term is to get a few more subscribers, really. So, you're going to get 2 for the price of 1 here. Actually, the start here has been absolutely terrible. But as you can see, actually, there's been a contact behind us. And that is Paul Bateman, who has been knocked. Well, he got sideways as well. That, whatever row of the grid we were on, had a pretty terrible. We got Pete Smith down the inside. We can't talk about the championship. We're going sideways down Paddock Hill. I don't know how I caught that. That would have been... I mean, it doesn't really bear thinking about. If I'd spun at that point, there are 30 odd. There's cars going at Reece March in car number 12, who got spun around there, and we find ourselves back in. Maybe we started outside the top 10 in position 11. That was a bad start. It could have been a lot worse. Sideways down Paddock Hill and actually catching it rather than spinning in front of 25 cars behind us, we would have been collected. That could have been a really poor end to the season. Got car off the road, so we're picking up places already, and we're going to go on the inside of Matt Crozier. You can see he's really struggling to get the power down, and power has been put down, but Matt has also got the power down. We're side by side as we go over the start finish straight. Matt's going to nip his nose in front as we go over the start finish line, but we've got the line down into Paddock Hill as long as we hold our nerve on the braking, and we have, and we are through back into the top 10, back into position 9. That was a hectic first lap. And what happened to Paul Bateman, may you ask? Well, unfortunately, Paul didn't get to finish this race, so it had major implications for the championship. So starting alongside us at the start of this restart, and for whatever reason, that row of the grid just had no grip. So both Paul and I really found it difficult. You can see catching up here, and we've got Pete Smith and Jack Worry going side by side once again. And what happened last time? Pete Smith ended up on the grass last time. They are side by side, keeping it clean. And there's a gap here. We can get both of them. Let's go on the inside. Unfortunately, the inside has like zero grip. We've managed to get past Pete here. Pete, by the way, did come up and apologise after the race for that little tap down into Paddock Hill. It wasn't intentional. Obviously, it's one of these things that happens in the start. We're not going to make it past Jack as well as we go into Paddock Hill. We have compromised ourselves a little bit by taking that inside line. We really should have just taken the racing line there. And you can see actually Pete's going again, doing a Paul Bateman. He's gone all the way through. I had to steer left when the corner was right, and he locked his wheels and did a sort of a Max Verstappen on his way through there. But unlike Formula One, we are all friends after. Well, I don't know. I think they are friends as well, actually. Anyway, we're friends afterwards as well. Pete waved me through after that, and again, as I say, apologise both for the tap down Paddock Hill and for slightly losing control down to Druids. But no harm at the end of it. And again, down the inside of Matt Crozier into this corner for the second time this race, and managing to find grip, and Matt not finding any grip on the outside there. He's really struggling to find grip on the outside of that corner. We managed to find some, and that means we are back to position 7 in this thriller of a race. Really, we are now a bit of a way behind the leading group after all of that excitement. Down, it's been taking a bit too much speed. We're out onto the gravel, wheel onto the gravel. Oh God, that could have gone a lot worse as well. A bit of luck is shining on us, but we're side by side with Matt Crozier. He's down on the inside here. We've got the outside line. He's given us room again, not like Formula One. Didn't run me out onto the grass. Got a car off on the grass up ahead, and we're back through on the inside of Matt Crozier, and we're going to make our way through with the car that was on the grass there. So we're up to position 6, believe it or not, in this pretty scrappy race, to be honest, but we are up to position 6. You can count it for yourself if you don't believe me. You can see the lead of the race up ahead, just about keeping it on, under braking. The last couple of corners here at Brands Hatch, I don't know, I think it might have been resurfaced at different points of the circuit, so there's quite vast amounts of different grip levels in the wet this year. You can see up front, you got for the lead, and that is going off the circuit. You can see he's not very happy about that. Is Jordan Pimley. Jordan was fighting for the lead there with Jamie Turner, but getting on for the last lap. You can see Jake Pace. Do you remember that back at the start of the race? If you can remember that far back, we had Jake Pace who was off the circuit. And obviously the restart, safety car, red flag and restart has brought him right back into this. He must have been towards the back of the field, and he's making a massive recovery drive. What I was going to try and say before all this stuff interrupted us was that obviously we had some driver training from we're going sideways. I'm going to try and finish this sentence. That has given Jake a really good run at us. God, that was close to losing it again. What I was trying to say, if I'm back to where we were talking about before, if you want to see Jordan Pimley, who was leading this race, is now currently hanging out in the gravel trap down at turn 1. But if you want to see Jordan giving us some racing tuition, he did that twice earlier this year, both here at Brands Hatch, which obviously has paid off, because this is... in position 5, I am 2 away from the podium. If you remember the last race we did back at... we're fighting here for this last position. But if you remember where I was at Cadwell Park, I was struggling to keep out of the bottom 5, bottom 10 for some reason. And then suddenly in this race, I'm right up in position 5. I'm close to a podium finish here. Dell, who we were finishing earlier, and actually I think we were slightly quicker than as parts of this race, he actually ends up getting 3rd place in a podium finish here, and we've got to keep this position 5. If we want to keep it, we've got to keep Jake behind us and he is all over the back of us. And in fairness, he's just done the fastest lap of this race to get to the back of us, and he's just managed to find grip where we couldn't. On the inside, MX5 struggling to get the power down once again. We are going to cross the line for the end of this race in position 6. This is the best finish I've ever had in racing. As I said at the start of this video, I look after myself, no team. Basically, do the mechanicking, the race engineering, the driving, obviously, all logistics. It's all kind of a one-man band. We've got definitely people who come and help us out, and thank you to those people. And you can see you can't resist doing a bit of revving in a tunnel. I mean, if you've got no soul if you don't think about that. But thank you very much for watching. Catch you again in the next one, where we're on to race 2 for Brands Hatch, with the, obviously, since I finished the highest ever I've ever finished, we'll be starting highest ever. As I said before, please do like and subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.